Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Summit EU qualifiers with Danish Baz vs No Diggity. I'm Lysander, joined by Danelie cast. And we have game number 2. Game number 1 actually went to Danish Baz. We both thought No Diggity were the favorite ones coming in. But in the end, Danish Baz tore them apart at the back with the help of Alchemist and Night Stalker. I think overall very impressive team play. A couple of mistakes here and there allowed Diggity to make some big vacuum combos, but in the end Alchemist proved to be too much of an obstacle, and still not banning it in game number 2. No Diggity looked to bring the series back to a 1-1 because elimination
Radiant
here
team pick
is very possible, so they'll have to be careful. It's a BO3, and I talk too much now. I'll let my co-caster do some talking. What do you think is going to happen this game?
I would definitely see No Diggity changing it up a little bit. Last game, they just let Danish Bears do whatever the hell they want. They weren't in a position to really control Danish Bears at any portion of the game. They were sitting more or less more passively, but that was also just the Night Stalker effect as well, right? Night Stalker, when the nighttime pops, you just lacking that vision, especially when the Aghanims comes up. Like, you have to be so wary of everything. Like, they've got to make sure that they have a little bit of control of this game at least. They need a proper tempo controller, and they also need I feel like they need more than one core that scales into the late game. Like, they invested everything into Quaif in that late game era, essentially just played a utility starter that could have been off lane, right? But he was in the safe lane. He was supposed to get that early blink dagger for them to move around early. That didn't happen. So I'm rather curious to see what they're going to do to change up a little bit, and Wisp is a step in the right direction. Who do they pair up with the Wisp? Was it going to be the Sven? Is it going to be the Tiny?
Chaos Knight plays.
I think everyone wants Chaos Knight back in the meta in general. We all miss that
until he becomes too popular, then people are nerf.
Reserve time.
I don't know about that.
I think he's cool. I just like him because it's cool. Like,
maybe. I've never been bored of Tiny. If you pick Tiny Wisp, I really couldn't.
I think they're gonna keep it a surprise. Maybe waste some of Danish Best draft, bans here, because you leave it as a open-ended thing. People, the Danish Bears might, say, okay, let's ban Tiny. You see what Danish Bears are uncomfortable with, and waste their bans when you have something else in mind. Maybe they think, okay, it's gonna be a Tiny, so we ban Tiny, and then you actually had Sven or Chaos Knight in mind, and you just won yourself a free ban. So it could be something like that. Picking up a Doom, I think, is very reasonable in place of whatever combo they want to go with Wisp. And if you get the Doom off on a particular hero, well, you're in business, because you effectively delete one out of the fight. Although Alchemist is kind of a exception if he does get his ultimate off, I feel.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the case. Or if the Darkseer is around with the mechanism as well. But Doom is going to be a very handy tool for them. Not just that though, like, even if they wanted to, they can also pick up Doom for some of the early auras too, like Alpha Wolf aura. They can also just... I think this was mentioned before, I remember this. This was during Epicenter. I think it was Swindles that pointed this out, but he mentioned that Doom is such a strong hero because when he devours a creep with the spell, he's essentially getting a free item because of that. Like, he gets a new spell, it's a free item, and he can pick anything that he wants according to what's available for the creeps. So he is absolutely a terror. So
it's the adaptability that's really strong.
It's flexible, yes, absolutely.
It's also mostly because of the pentagram. You want that.
Dire team.
But why else would you pick the Doom? Like, you definitely want him for Doom.
And also Infernal Blade hurts like a bitch. Pardon my French, but it does hurt on tanky heroes because it ticks down based on your max HP.
10 seconds
so even the tankiest of heroes will feel the burn.
They did nerf this, however. Like, this used to be a lot stronger. During the laning phase, if you were a Doom and you Infernal Bladed a Lion, I think you would almost tick him down to like 1/3 of his HP, or maybe even 1/4 of his HP left. Like, that's how strong it used to be. I'm kind of glad that they nerfed it. It really did feel like it was just too strong to be on the Doom.
Still, it's a 20% max HP burn. It's pretty crazy.
It is crazy, but Danish Bears has an Alk. Like, he can heal a lot of that back up. Like, he won't have a problem with it. Darkseer shouldn't have any issues with it because he's going to pick up Guardian Greaves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually rather curious now for Danish Bears. They need a mid hero. They don't need a mid hero. They need a safe lane hero. You've already got the Alchemist that's going to be farming away. So are they going to pick a hero of a similar nature to the Gyrocopter? A carry that's going to farm reasonably okay, but firstly can scale into the late game, but has spells that makes them relevant during the early portions of the game. Do you feel like that's going to be another hero that they'll look for safe lane?
Someone that can combo with Darkseer. So maybe Gyrocopter again, but what I don't like about it is picking the same strategy into your opponent is not the best idea, because your opponent will be discussing their previous loss, and by picking a similar draft, you're effectively giving them a chance to replay the match, so to speak. And this time, you can be sure they are going to be more careful, and they're going to draft more diligently to deal with your lineup. So if they do go for the Gyrocopter here, I feel like Danish Bears might be shooting themselves in the foot. But no, never mind. They pick Cowlet.
Radiant team pick.
So Earth Spirit. I like No Diggity's draft this time a little bit more. They've got a Lion for their support, which is a whole bunch of control. You've also got some great sniping ability with the Finger of Death. Like, this Lion pickup, this might be what No Diggity sort of needs to stabilize themselves during the early game. However, it is going to be a Cinder and Lion. His score may not be the best, but if he can at least perform to a similar role as last game, I feel like they should be in a pretty good spot. Like, they're drafting a lot of early game heroes that have really early power curves. So if No Diggity can get through the laning phase decently in this game, I feel like they can transition into the mid game very strong and contest Danish Bears early before the Alchemist reaches critical mass again. Because that was the biggest problem last game. Like, they left the Alchemist to completely free farm his Radiance. He picked up Armlet and Radiance at 12 minutes in. Like, that is incredibly fast. If you pressure an Alch, like, he's definitely not picking up items that early.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's still iffy. It feels like a Juggernaut mid with the IO.
Team ban.
It can be strong with the tether slow and the spin.
They could still pick another mid hero, because Juggernaut is definitely going to be self-sufficient up against the Darkseer if he goes in that safe lane with the Lion. They actually have kill potential.
Because of the heal as well.
Yeah.
There's this issue with dealing with Darkseer as a melee kill. Because of that constant Iron Shell burn, you're just forced out of the lane after a while, but the healing ward can actually counteract
Reserve time.
Or they might go for something else. Maybe they pick the Gyro for themselves,
team ban.
But might be a bit greedy. I think mid Chaos Knight is not too bad. You'll just completely shut down the Alchemists, and we, like you said, Lion Juggernaut can do their own thing in the safe lane against Darkseer. We have Doom sweat it out in the top
10
lane.
seconds remaining.
Overall, I think Diggity's draft has a lot of merit, although Danish Bears does have quite a bit of crowd control themselves, so nothing they should be underestimating here. Bane already there to lock the Juggernaut down in the late game.
There's an Earth Spirit. Now, because there's a Darkseer on the side of Danish Bears as well, they could be looking for a dual lane off lane, which actually might be a bit overwhelming for No Diggity.
Team pick.
Sorry?
2-1-2?
It could be 2-1-2 as well.
Yeah, like the Earth Spirit Darkseer again.
Yeah.
Because that's what Mirana. Danish Bears go for Mirana, you know. I'm not sure if EU picks Mirana as much as C does, but I think everyone's hyping up the cat lady.
Remaining.
I think it's even. Like, no region has really been experimenting with Mirana that much. I've seen it here and there, but no team really picking it up. Razor last pick for Danish Bears.
I like that combo. It's cute. It's gotta be strong as well. Sleep into Drain. Awesome stuff.
Also, minus armor, going to be really good for the Alch. There's a little bit of synergy between them. You've got Acid Spray minus armor, and now you've got Eye of the Storm minus armor.
Doom has 0 armor, so that's nice.
5 seconds remaining.
And overall, I think a Razor doesn't mind being doomed. I think that's one of the main things about this hero.
Reserve time.
Is that I wouldn't say okay, no hero likes being doomed, maybe except for Wraith King, but a Razor getting doomed is not as big a deal as say a Quap or a Storm Spirit getting Doom. Because once Razor presses all his buttons, it's okay, he can get Doom. So I think that's the thing. Oh, we get ourselves a Quakefer special, Tinker. I did ask for this in the previous game, but now it looks like it is going to happen. We are going to see Diggity's Tinker being picked up here. He is very well known for his Tinker, actually.
And in this game, it's actually a pretty good Tinker game as well. There is not the best catch on the side of Danish Bears if they do want to deal with the Coifer Tinker after he's got Boots of Travels and a Blink. So Coifer can definitely get away with this game. Great synergy as well with the rest of the team. And also, Tinker's going to be super good when it comes to slowing down those pushes as well. Because for Danish Bears, they don't have the best heroes when it comes to tower chipping, because they're always going to be in range of March of the Machines. So this last pick, Tinker for Coifer, is this going to tip the scales in their favor for this game? It has to count. They're already down one game,
battle.
single elimination. If they drop this series,
They're out.
they are out.
Yeah.
And it'll be quite a shame to see Syndra and friends out. But we'll see. Syndra, negative KDR or no? No?
I'm torn now. I want to say positive.
Alright.
Because they need to win this
Still
game.
going with faith. Alright. I mean, they could still win if Syndra feeding. But it's okay. It's not really feeding when you're helping a team secure objectives. You're just being a support and being that martyr. But Syndra, he's gonna be playing his Lion. It's a very odd set he has going on there. We have Yabzor playing the Wisp. Gonna be taking a more relaxed step compared to the soccer player
30
Kowlin.
seconds
We
to
have
battle.
Keizu playing the Doombringer. We have Era going to play Juggernaut, a proper carry this time round for him. And last but not least, we have Quakefer on his signature Tinker. And the dire side, we have Ace on that Razor. We have Rise in the main, Ping, Vincheck on the Alchemist. Once again, this guy's a dirty outpicker. And we've got Noah on that Earth Spirit. We'll see if it's as good as his Yakiro. And we got Hasted Joe on his Darkseer.
Hasted Joe had such a good game last game.
Yeah.
I'm really keen to see how he's going to play out the Darkseer. If it's going to be in a similar fashion, or if he's going to be having a little bit of a normal game with that Darkseer. He did stand out in that previous series, though. Props to him. He did a very good job, especially during the laning phase. Just completely outplaying Diggity in that laning phase with the help of his Jakiro friend.
And even in the late game, I like that final push where he just dived in there with his BKB turned on and just zoned everyone away from the ranks, just allowing them to mega and close it out without even a fight. I think that was really cool.
Well, what else are you going to do with the BKB? Like, if you're not going to run in there, like, what's the point of buying that BKB?
Well, not everyone has the talent to go ham. One Lysander from the CIS scene is really good at that. Couple other heroes, other players as well, but it's a rare talent, and I'm glad he did that. But oh, we have got ourselves a DC. That's not good.
That's not too bad. It's before the game's even started, so not hurting anybody. It's all good.
Well, it does look like we'll have conventional lanes here for DB, but still can't really tell for the Radiant side. Are they running that?
Coifer's going mid, for sure.
Yeah. Alright, so it looks like it will be conventional lanes.
Yep.
Wisp is going to be on the safe lane, so that is going to affect that relocate timing because of its tri-lane's nature. How early? Well, you mentioned them having to apply pressure, and pressure will come in the form of relocate Tinker. I feel like it's gonna be some kind of global presence they'll be aiming for, and Juggernaut's just there to push towers once they secure that kill.
Yeah. That's really what No Diggity is looking for. Just going through the laning phase quite nicely, and then once they hit that mid game where they reach their peak in strength, then definitely just start taking those towers down. As you said, relocate global presence, because you got Tinker and a Wisp. Like, you're going to get guaranteed 3 to 4 heroes in any engagement as long as it's in lanes. Like, you'll definitely grab Quafer in there. Oh dear. Looks like Danish Bear's now having issues.
Yeah.
Or a toilet break. Either. Doesn't matter.
Could be those. They still have a lot of pause time left on them, but for all of you guys just tuning in, a shout out to you guys. We are Lysander and Danelie cast. We are working a night shift actually here in C/Australia. It's what's the time there for you? 3:45.
Yeah, 3:47, 3:45.
All right, so 3:47 in the morning. For you guys in EU, it should be night. Like, yeah, it should be like 10 or 9 o'clock. I think so. But it's nice to have you guys here. It's exciting match. I think both teams here have proven that they can put up quite the show. But Diggity, they have to fight harder for this one. DB have one game cushion to rest on, but you don't want to rest too hard as well. So they whip it out. Again, this Alchemist, they bet their chips on it. They think that Diggity won't be able to deal with this. But
All right, are we
we are
good to
ready.
go?
Still wait.
Oh, never mind.
Because the previous wait actually came from Noah,
It-
actually. No.
Yes. So no Diggity were the first ones to pause, and Danish bears need the extra time. Ah. It's nice and calm. Shall we transition to effigy time?
Oh, yeah. Alright. Effigy time.
That's what effigies are for. Got extra
That's what
time?
effigies
Just
are
take a look
for.
at them.
And, alright, so we'll start with K-Zeus on the Radiant side. We have Mikey number 1. So we got Invoker doing some sort of high five. Don't leave me hanging. Let me give you a bro fist there. Tap, tap, tap. Alright, I didn't leave him hanging. Gave him a high five. This is a pretty cool Invoker set. Pretty cool pose as well. He is reaching for something. Probably Mikey. Mikey's probably his friend. We'll look at MMR. Oh, Syndran. That is Syndran's face right there. MMR. His signature Night Stalker.
What's going on?
Okay, what is going on? Why is there... AP remake. We are waiting for you. Alright, they're gonna remake. Alright, so Era is not really happy with that. We're gonna disconnect. Alright, a little bit of unhappiness there. Thinking that this pause was used for nefarious reasons. So we are going to jump into a remake.
Alright.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into a remake. I hope I was right leaving that lobby.
I left, everyone left, so.
Okay, everyone left. We'll just hop out so that you guys don't see the password. I'll pick remake, right? So we're gonna switch that up. Password's Kappa Ross, guys. Right. So we're in the lobby. We're gonna be waiting for the match to jump right back in. So yeah, so apparently that long pause, DB are accusing No Diggity of scouting, what's the word for it again? Ghosting. So that's a
I don't know
pretty
if you really
huge
want to be.
accusation. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's a can of worms you don't want to open, right?
we'll leave it to the players to make their
Yeah.
assumptions. Like we can't really assume anything
Yeah,
here.
we can't assume anything here, but well, it does look like there's some tension going on, so more stake on the line here, you could say, for this match.
Well, it's a pretty big game here for No Diggity. For Danish Bears, you said it before. There's a bit of a buffer, but I guess at this point it's a pretty big game. So like everything counts.
Alright, so Blaze gonna be laying down the law. Ideally, you'll refrain from pausing at the start of the game. There will not be another remake. So, alright, I like that the admins are laying down the law. Not many admins willing to do that nowadays, and we'll have ourselves a clean game, hopefully. And everyone happy. Happy game. No point being said, Dota is pretty fun, and we should keep it that way. So, based on the draft, how do you think this game is going to go down?
Just give me a second.
Is it your mic thing?
Just fixing up my threshold.
Okay. So,
Just
I
give me a
mean,
moment.
someone said that your Dota TV is a little wonky, but
Yeah,
I think
that's-
Dota TV is always wonky, so I'm not really sure it's our side or not. But yeah, it's always good to give it a little look. We do have a little bit of time, 58 seconds before the all pick goes through, and we have all the heroes being picked up already. So once again, we have Razor, Alchemist, Darkseer, Bane, and a Spirit versus No Diggity's lineup: Doom, Ayo, Juggernaut, Tinker, and Lion. And yeah, so
Lo and behold, there shall be no pauses as well.
yeah, no more pauses. The admin has said.
So you should be getting a game as well. Hopefully everyone's okay. Assuming that there's no issues, we should be good to go. Unless you have another emergency.
Hopefully not. I want to get into this game. I want to see Quake vs Tinker in action, and if he gets gang squatted in the middle lane, because it does happen to Tinkers a lot. Why do I get this? HUD skin. So alright, immediate TP's in, so Rai gonna deploy
Prepare
the
for
donkey in the middle lane. Ooh. Strats. So Danish Baz immediately gonna start up with those observer wards very early on. TPing through the middle lane with those observer wards being blocking the camp. What a cheeky play. And they know. They pinged it out.
Oh wow.
Someone's gonna call hacks.
Quacks. Oh jeez. We'll see if they actually do deport that. I guess they will. They've got Kezi going over there, so that's just gonna be a no-go unfortunately for Danish Bears. So right off the bat, hopefully right off the bat should be taken down.
Alright. Keizu being drawing some phallic symbols on the map there. Not too happy with whatever's going on. But I'm not sure if he suspects that the ward is placed there because Bane got there so early. But it could be a knowledge of the opponent's strategy as well.
That's true. But obviously, if the creep camp doesn't spawn at 30 seconds, then he'll definitely know. So he might be waiting for that as well, just to get the guarantee.
Yeah, don't want to waste your singular sentry on that.
Yeah.
And I like how this Bane just blocks out this large camp here because the Doom will be looking to capitalize on a big creep, and Keizu immediately going to start donating some damage over to Ace. Boots first, always excellent choice on a Razor. It's going to be taking a chunk of damage here. Ace just not sparing Doom any quarter, whips him for a third of his hit points, and going to be pretty happy about that. It's going to just walk away. Looks like it will be a safe lane Doom. A safe lane Razor. Already starting off with his bonus damage and chipping away at Doom's regeneration. So already forcing a tango out of him. And Doom will be looking for a creep to eat here, but he'll realize very quickly that it has been blocked. And the reason why the Bane actually blocked this camp is so that the Doom will not be able to get as much as he would like out of this lane, because there are two heroes on the bottom deployed there by Danish Bass to apply pressure once again on Era.
Oh, this poor Keizu. He's trying to look for creeps everywhere. He's just like, damn it! There's no creeps here either.
Yeah, he only has one sentry, and then
look at Rise. He's blocking the camp. Like he does not want this Doom to have any creeps. Keizu.
Yeah, screw you, he says.
This
this is actually a pretty big play from the Bane.
Exactly.
Doom going for Devour first. Gave up that Scorched Earth survivability for that, and now he's suffering the cost of a level 1 Devourer.
Looks like he may just consider going straight into the jungle. Like, he knows he's not getting anything in that safe lane. And especially going up against a Bane who has so much harassment potential, there's no point just going into lane to try to sap that EXP if he may die. So, easy EXP in the jungle.
And yeah, like you said, this Bane's gonna be very happy. We'll see how Quakefoot does against an Elk middle. Very annoying to deal with Elk. Oh, we start with the tether. We could see a first blood over here. They might get that tether latch on him. They have rockets and the laser. 2 more shots, 1 more rocket. Times it just right with the fairy fire to boost Quakefoot up a little bit. He will be out of the danger range there. Will score first blood with a very quick walk and tap into the rockets. Very quick kill there from Quakefoot. Scoring first blood for his team. A much better start than last game. And the Alchemist, this time not having a smooth transition as he would like. Noya, meanwhile, leeching.
That's not bad. There's nothing wrong with leeching.
I know, there's nothing wrong with leeching. And
they can't really punish him either, so it's free EXP to the Earth Spirit. There was actually a quick rotation by Rise. After seeing that quick duff on the Pimvinchek, the Bane suddenly come mid to help babysit him and make sure that Pimvinchek gets a better time in that mid lane. So all of a sudden, not going to be as easy of a lane it was originally here for Quakefoot, just seeing the Bane here, but I think for now the Bane's going to retreat. Quakefoot jungle stacks And this is something that you always want to do, especially if you're running that mid alchemist. Just give him those early stacks and really amp up his farm to get those really quick armlet into radiance timings. Do you think it's going to be the exact same items here for Pinman check, or is there any reason for him to consider going for a different style of alchemist build?
I don't know whether it will be the same. Oh, they get chased again, but this time there's Rise there to stop things off. But yeah, I don't think it will be much of a change. He still wants to go for the same thing to counteract Ticker's push, so I think he might be going for the Altarine again. But this time, it may be punished a bit harder because he goes for an item that can't really combat well. He's going to be shut down very quickly if he gets hit by a Doom or even a Focus Fire here from the Juggernaut. Oh, they kick over the Era, but I don't think it's going to be a kill. An Impale comes out from Syndra, just a little bit of tap and go. Nothing too big to worry about. Lion hits level 3.
Really good pressure being thrown out by Danish Bear. So this is similar to last game. They had the Night Stalker Jakiri lane. This time it's a Darkseer as well as an Earth Spirit lane. This is super annoying for No Diggity because it means that they have to commit so much support down into this bottom lane to make sure that firstly Era gets an okay time in terms of CS and make sure that he doesn't die.
Era baiting it in, and there's your there's your tether. Immediately spins it up. Noya goes for the stun.
No,
does he get enough? No, he does not. And Juggernaut does get the spin right in the middle of him, taking him out. So Ace the Joe unable to do much for his teammate without mana, without that soul ring flying to him. And the donkey does deliver piece of item for Ace. It will be the win lace for him to move a lot quicker. And now Keisu finally is he gonna find a creep that isn't a centaur. Yes, he will. He'll find the tomato, eats that up, and starts chopping away at that potato. But Rise meanwhile has gone for the 0-2-1 build, so it's got a little bit of burst damage on him as well as the Nightmare setup. And the one person he really wants to go for that Nightmare setup right now would be Syndra.
It's looking pretty okay here for No Diggity. If you look at net worth so far, they are not falling that far behind. You've got the Jug Era sitting in 4th position, but this is okay. It's not like last game where he was completely denied any sort of freedom. And he's also running on a hero that's able to move into the jungle or transition into the jungle if he actually needs
and takes
a little bit of extra farm.
Oh, there we go. Are we gonna start the Syndra show? Oh, Syndra sticks around. Doesn't have enough support there, so Noya will think twice about jumping in on that Lion. And so far we have a rather uneventful laning phase. With the exception of Ping going down there a little bit. Quafer is going to start applying a little bit of pressure. But still doing quite a bit of good here in this middle lane. This Tinker shutting down that elk farm. Though elk will always have that upper hand in terms of gold.
Yeah, that's always going to be the case. Like, he has to... Like, Quafer, he has to have the lanes like this. If he doesn't deny Pinman check at least a couple of these CSs, then he's going to fall behind super quickly. And Bounty Rune, obviously, this early on, such a saving grace. 310 gold for Bounty Runes this early on. Like, that's so much gold. Rice, he had to transition into the jungle, just start stacking, because he went down bottom. And unfortunately, they weren't really able to grab onto anyone down here, so waste a little bit of time. Not completely lost, however. So if you just keep stacking up here for Pinman check, I'm pretty sure he's going to be good to go.
Visible. Oh, they're going to start off with the Iron Shell.
Can they kill him though? I don't think they can
know if
kill
Era realizes this though. It's very gradual damage. Looks like it will not be the case. Noya still has about a quarter left of his invisibility. We'll see if he puts it to good use or he just use it to bypass us and wards. So knowing they can't kill the Invoker, they immediately back off and they go for something else.
Looks like they got 2 middle here. Got the Wisp sort of keeping an eye on Quafer, but the Doom's nearby as well. Bane gets spotted out, and here comes TPs. Could Rise die here? Have they got set up? They got Cinder in. This should be a chase, and it looks like Cinder is not quick enough. Yasuo comes in for the help, but it looks like the Bane's gonna get it quite nicely.
Yep. Turns into a frog, and Rice will be paying the price. There'll be a Nick-Kill follow-up as well. The rocket will fly, and they do get that kill.
They never miss.
Meanwhile,
Very nice. Yeah, this game is much more slower pace compared to the last game. I think it's just because Danish Bears, they haven't found as many opportunities in this game compared to the previous laning phase where they just had the heroes that could always find these openings, like punishing Shadow Shaman because the hero is very clunky, slow, and his turn rate's not the best. Low HP as well. Like this time, you're in a lane with a Jug who is practically unkillable if Era plays this right. And Cinder is so defensive in his positioning, like he's not going to be an ideal target unless you want a tower dive for him as well. So his bottom lane, not going to really be a problem here for No Diggity. They could... For Danish Bears, they can try to commit onto the Tinker, but just because Yapsor's here with the heals, it's such a task if they want to try and take down this Tinker. Also got to be so careful because March of the Machines skilled up to 3, so if they do decide to die for him as well, you've got to walk into the March of Machines.
Yeah, what I don't want Diggity to fall into is that trap they had in the previous game where they just let this Alchemist farm and they tried to take it late, whether intentional or not, against that Elk, and they got punished for it.
This game, I feel like they actually can outgreed the Alk. You've got 2 heroes that scales very nicely, whereas you've also got the Doom who can just practically shut down the Alk.
Before his ultimate, though. You have to
yeah.
get him before his ultimate, otherwise it's very difficult.
But still, I feel like they're in a position where they can deal with this Alk. The secondary hero for Danish Bears is this Razor, and not to say that Razor is a trash hero, it's just that he's not on the same level as a Tinker or a Juggernaut. Like, these 2 heroes offer much more than the Razor does, and Razor can definitely fall off and also fall behind in farm just because he doesn't have the best farming capabilities like a Tinker as well as a Jug. He just doesn't... He's not the same. This is just the sad part with Razor. So you can tell with Danish Bears, you pick up a Razor because you want to fight early. This is what Razor is so good at. He also needs a lead, if anything.
Meanwhile, Syndren was thinking about it. Doesn't want to commit. And looks like they will bring in the Tinker. Now there's E1. They have the net creep. Okay, Ping might be the target. They're going in for it. The rock will kick. It will miss. Ace. They're very close to this.
Quite scary here, but
looks like no aggression will be applied here.
Everyone just left.
DB very content with their current trio.
Well, they're just farming up Pinman Check at this point. He's picked up the recipe for the Radiant, so he just needs to pick up the Sacred Relic and then he's good to go. All these No Diggity heroes, they are actually quite squishy as well. The only one really mitigating this damage is going to be Yapsor. So this Alchemist, if he picks up this Radiance without any sort of contest, No Diggity are going to be in a spot of trouble, especially when you come to some of these earlier engagements where they want to try and fight, but then realize, oh shit, there's a Radiance on this Alchemist. Do we want to tank the damage or do we just back up and leave? Obviously, you don't want to run away.
Syndren, no, he's going to walk right into a Razor, but they have that relocate coming in there. Immediate Doom on Ace. Yapsor coming with that relocate. The kicks will be missing there. He will land on that Doom, but the Razor is already gone. And now Lion, he blocks up that Earth Spirit roll. Does he have another stun? Yes, he does. Syndren, one more right click will settle this Earth Spirit. He will actually get that kill. It's a 5-0 lead now. And that is the exact good start that DB had in game number 1. And game number 2, they lose it, they throw it all away.
So it looks like it's going to be the complete opposite this game. Danish Bears with 0 kills, whereas for No Diggity, they've got all of them under their belts. This is the kind of snowball that they're really looking for this game. They need to start accumulating this lead. Even though they're not really hurting Pinvencheck, they're actually slowly going to cripple the rest of Danish Bears' lineup, which was the foundation that the Alchemist sort of relied on earlier on. Like the rest of the team made so much space, and not just Alchemist was so far ahead, but the rest of the team was able to get so much. Oh dear.
They're going in for that Juggernaut. They start sapping his damage here, and then the Fiend's Grip as well, so Diggity, they lose their Juggernaut. Quaker in trouble as well with Tinker, but they're not gonna push for this. Or are they? Razor going in there. He does have bonus damage. The Plasma Field's enough. He gets a double kill. What an easy kill there onto Quake's Tinker. And suddenly, all of a sudden, right as I praise Diggity right there, they immediately throw away their lead. It's now 1,005 in favor of DB.
Noya just casually walking around with 50 HP. No big deal. It's all good. Such a good game for this Earth Spirit. Can they take the tower though? I don't believe they can. Everyone not feeling too confident about this. Everyone at half HP. Is there a mech done on Darkseer? Not quite. He needs the recipe, but Looks like with all the TPs coming in, everyone on Danish Bears, they're just content with the kills. Just gonna back up. Without everyone at full HP, not too confident to push this through. Radiant's 12 minutes completed on Pinman check, so again, left unchecked during this laning phase. No Diggity, they gotta slow down this snowball, because he is going to be an absolute monster again if they can't control him.
This time,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
he's printing money again.
I do feel like he's not going to be
Radiant's
as
bottom
big as he
tower
was in
is
the
under
previous
attack.
series. Like, just the draft that No Diggity had, it was just so clear-cut and straightforward. They didn't really have too many options to work with, whereas for No Diggity this time, they've got more options. Like, they're not forced into a position where they have to kill heroes. They can more or less drag this into a late game and contest with their comparable core heroes. Even Split Push is going to be a great option too, just because there's a Tinker. He's always going to be around the map. And if you think about it, chasing for Danish Bears isn't the best. Like, they don't want to be running around trying to chase heroes down to stop Split Push. They would prefer to 5-man.
Yeah, certainly. But Ace has got a very
Dire's
weird
top
set of
tower is
items
under attack.
on his Razor. I don't believe I've seen this casual cloak, windlace, and boost of travel before.
I haven't seen the cloak before, but there's a lot of magical damage on the side of No Diggity, so it's just such a good value item for the Razor this early on. If he decides to keep going with this,
Dire's
I don't
top
really see a
tower
problem
is
with
under
it.
attack.
If he picks up a pipe for his team, you would actually be mitigating a lot of No Diggity's early burst. Because that's all they're
Dire's
relying on
bottom
at this point.
tower
It's
is
all
under
just
attack.
magical damage, and they've actually found Coifer with the help of Rise. Rest in
relocate.
peace.
And they find Tinker once again. Danish Bears not having any mercy here, but Keizu, he does have that pentagram. Are they going to deploy the Finger of Death? There's going to be enough there from Synderen. Takes out the Earth Spirit. Bane also loses his life. The relocate will send people back, but Ace, oh no, he sees him. Synderen getting caught out by the Eye of the Storm. And yeah, goes wandering in the jungle alone. Gets hit by lightning. Do not stand under the trees. As
Radiant
Ace scoots on
structures
out
are
with his
fortified.
Hood of Defiance
Radiant's
in hand.
bottom tower is under
Looking
attack.
to mitigate magical damage. So far for himself, but later on, he will be hit. And,
Great execution coming out from Danish Bears though.
Radiant's
Like, they're
bottom
able
tower
to
has
keep
been
No
denied.
Diggity so busy with their current draft. They don't even have to bring the
Radiant's
Alchemist
middle
into this.
tower
They're just
is
saying,
under
okay,
attack.
Alch, you can do whatever you want. We're just going to keep No Diggity busy so that you're going to get 6 slot as soon as possible. And
Radiant's
if we take a
middle
look, if you
tower
think
is
about it,
under
right,
attack.
take a look at the Aghanim situation for Danish Bears. They've got heroes that all benefit greatly from Sweatshop Alchemist that can pick up Ags for their team. So, No Diggity, I would say they're on a timer at this point to deal with this out, because if they just leave him again,
round 2.
yeah.
They already got his Radiance. I first saw it at 13 minutes, but I think maybe he got it a little bit earlier.
12:40 he got it.
That's pretty fast, and I sometimes can't even afford the recipe by that time.
He... Lysander.
Sometimes
Let's
I'm
not go
potato.
there.
Sometimes I'm potato.
I think
But
they're
compared to these guys, I'm always potato.
95% of the community. Nope, not even 95%. 99.9% of the community would be considered potatoes too. That's fine.
It's all good. And Dota's just a fun game that I enjoy. But it's a pleasure to see pros being so efficient and doing all the right things that you technically know are good for you, but you don't do because it's just so difficult. It's like manual labor. So we'll have to see.
Got Kezu just sort of looking around the jungle in the top lane. Spots no one out. They've actually, if you take a look at the ward vision for No Diggity, they've got so much vision in Danish Bears' jungle. They know where Pinman is.
Dire's
They
top
don't
tower
know where
is
the
under
rest
attack.
of Danish Bears is. But actually, if you look at the line drawn out by the Doom, they know. Just such good game sets coming out from Kezu on that Doom to figure out where these No Diggity heroes are. It depends though.
But they are going for a wraparound.
This actually could be a
Dire's
really good
top
bait for
tower
No
is
Diggity.
under
They
attack.
sense this.
Radiant's bottom tower
Oh, they're
is
gonna
under
push and then
attack.
someone's gonna defend.
Dire's
So
top tower has fallen.
they know what's going on.
So Rise is
Looks
just
like it
waiting
will
to
not be a. Looks like it will not be an issue.
Oh, Kezu, you're gonna be gripped by Rise. Actually, no, they're gonna wait. They see too many heroes.
Yeah, they see
Oh, they
too
know.
many. Oh, the balls. I'm not sure who sees who now. I think they saw them.
Radiant's
No Diggity
structures
did see them.
are
He
Alright,
is
they didn't see them.
Synderen pinged.
Radiant's middle tower is
So
under
they're gonna
attack.
back off and they're gonna deliver this tier 1 tower in the hands of the enemy.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Iron Shell is
Oh,
countering
Era.
the creep wave push, but
Don't go on the low ground, Era.
yeah, but right now it's just looking weird.
Still farming away. Like, considering the net worth right now, 18 minutes
Dire's
in,
top
yes,
tower
Alchemist
is
is
under
sitting
attack.
on top of the net worth chart, but then all of a sudden you've also got the Tinker as well as the Juggernaut sitting in second place. Both almost exactly the same in terms of net worth. Never mind. God, Era pulling ahead a little bit, but they're looking pretty good in terms of net worth. Like, they're not falling insanely far behind. They are looking to transition into the late game, especially with Era picking up that Battle Fury, wanting to speed up his farm as much as possible.
Doom starts off with that net as well as Scorched Earth, but doesn't have his mana. And now the Wisp TP's in for nothing as well, so very good save there by the Kowlin. Also very lucky, as he didn't have mana for that Doom. But right now, Ping, he's having a lot of fun on his Alchemist.
Yeah, and also knowing that there's going to be no relocate for the next couple of moments, or at least next minute, Danish Bears can sort of do whatever they want around the map.
The IO, level 6, but haven't seen much Chaos Knights ganks. Probably one successful one on the bottom lane. Apart from that, nothing really else much. And he does find himself an Observer Ward, so a lot of de-warding going on here. Syndron knowing what's up, where all the wards will be.
Syndron's getting closer and closer to his Blink Dagger, 1.1k gold. So hopefully
Still
that
plenty of time to die.
Still, don't jinx it. Just give the man his Blink Dagger, and then he can die as much as he wants. Just give him that nice Blink Dagger timing, and I'm pretty sure he would appreciate that.
Yeah, I guess so. And oh well, going invest once again. This Doombringer, gonna try and look for a target, but yeah, Rise isn't having any of that.
So what's the status on Ace so far on the Razor? Looks like he's continued on and finished up the Sand on that Razor. Super fast, super sustainable. How does no Diggity actually kill Ace? Oh no, they found Synderen.
Everyone finds Synderen eventually. But Ace the lens on this Tinker. Okay.
This is so good though.
Longer lasers, but it's only lasers. Here comes the relocate. They finally found him. Rise, will we start off? But no, it will be a very, very quick Omni Slash here from that Juggernaut. They might lose the Doom. They will. They punch him in the middle of the Acid Spray. Leaves a mark on him, but he immediately relocates out. So meanwhile, it'll be Danish Bass making a push down the middle lane. What started out as something good for Diggity, now suddenly transitioning to something bad, because they look like they are going to be losing another.
And what Roche instead? Not pushing mid, just take this really quick Roche, knowing that Doom is going to be down.
Yeah, it's a bit slower now without the roster walls from last game, but still do the trick with the Acid Spray.
Danish Bears are looking so strong in this second series as well. Not as strong as the first game. There is obviously going to be opportunities for no Diggity to contest this and potentially make a comeback, but they need to find these openings. And unfortunately for them, like Danish Bears, they haven't really given that much wiggle room for Diggity to find these opportunities.
Sean is nearly down. Are they going to fight this? Oh, Keisu gets hit by the rock. Will there be a follow-up there? The grip comes out to Keisu. The Finger of Death comes out though. And the spins will be enough. The Aegis goes down. So it will be Razor picking up that immortality. And now the Darkseer. He has that Doom on him. He can't vacuum. He can't deploy anything. But never mind. It's going to town. There is the Alchemist. And although he does get a kill error, he does lose his life to that Alchemist. And Ace as well. A mega kill for him. Suddenly the kill score back at 10 for 10. And we talked about this graph. It's not looking so. It wasn't looking good for it wasn't looking good for Danish Bass in the early game. But then suddenly it turned around. Started getting hot, started getting better, and a miscalculated team fight here from Diggity make them lose 5 heroes and not even stealing the Aegis for it.
I know, that's such a huge problem. This Earth Spirit has been a huge pain in the backside
Radiant's
for No
middle
Diggity.
tower
The
is
kicks,
under
the
attack.
silences, the stuns.
Radiant
Just
structures
completely
are fortified.
disorientating them, and also just because you're up against a Earth Spirit, like No Diggity has to always
Radiant's
second guess
bottom
their
tower
movements.
is
Like
under
they
attack.
always need to be worried, am I going to get hit by this Earth Spirit? Am I going to get vacuumed in by this Darkseer? Like that's the biggest thing, right? You've got all these heroes where it forces No Diggity to not play as comfortably as they would like to. So they did still try to contest it, but for it to backfire this early on, for the Aegis to still be there onto Ace, so this is such a
Sin.
huge advantage. Sind, is he okay?
He is okay. For now. He's hiding in the trees, but he's gonna dish this tier 2 tower. He was farming a little bit, like you said. His Blink Dagger very crucial on him. He's only got $1,000 right now, so he's still got
Radiant's
a bit
bottom
of work
tower
to do.
is under attack.
Yeah,
He's
so
stagnated. He was 1.1k gold before he died, so he hasn't really moved in terms of gold. Poor Cinderin. It's so difficult as well because if you're running a Tinker on your team, like you're never going to have creep waves on your side of the map half the time, and even if it does creep onto your side of the map, the Tinker's gonna TP over into that lane and it's gonna be pushed out again. So it really leaves very little for supports or any other heroes that try to pick up scraps because there's never going to be lanes. It's either you grab jungles or you come with the carries and take whatever scraps they let you have. As long as they don't kick you from the team, I suppose it's all good.
oh, here comes the Razor. And what does he have now? He's got the Sanjiasha, he's got a Hooded Defiance. Surprising he has not built it up into a pipe. Is there any reason you wouldn't want to build in the pipe yet?
Well, they're so far ahead, like you don't need to. All these heroes and Danish bears, they're very tanky. You've got this Razor who also has the
Dire's
unstable
middle tower
current to
is
work
under
with,
attack.
also kind of mitigate a lot of the incoming magical bursts, which is what No Diggity is
Radiant's
relying
top
so
tower is
much
under
on right
attack.
now. Then you've also got the Alk who's got the built-in regen, you've got the regen coming in from the Darkseer. There's like so much healing on the side of Danish bears, they can mitigate all of this already. So the biggest deal here is if you can start just building up onto Ace to make him that huge threat that can really kill off these No Diggity heroes. I'm not really sure if Dig's in a place to actually control them up unless they can somehow pick them off separated.
Dyer's
And I think
bottom tower is
Cinderin,
under
he
attack.
spotted our Ace, but
Radiant's top
he's like,
tower
I'm
is
probably
under
He
gonna
has to be
die
careful
now.
not to click Hex onto the Razor or something, because he'll get purged. The Rock will fly. Oh, a relocate to
Oh.
save Syndren. Alright. Era will TP with a spin out, but this will cost the Wisp to die.
Better to lose one than two, though. So it's a good play from Yapsor.
Oh, the kick's gonna miss. Yapsor will actually run away. The stun comes out. Is there a creep wave nearby? No, sir. But it will be the Alchemist kill.
Dire's
He
middle
does have
tower
the
is
Mantic
under attack.
Oxrine and Radiance already. So,
Dyer's
trouble
middle
times
tower
for them.
has fallen.
Here comes trouble. Pim check.
Alright, Keizu. He does have that. Doom. Does he doom it? Yeah, nope, he doesn't need to doom it
Radiant's
this time. He
bottom
drops the
tower
Infernal
is
Blade.
under attack.
Finally getting a kill. Getting that. Getting a stun. Very important
Nice
for
kill
them.
for No Diggity, but it's just a
Dire's
support
top
kill,
tower is under
unfortunately.
attack.
Like, it doesn't really prevent Danish bears from going for any pushes. Like, ideally, you would
Radiant's
love to
bottom
go for
tower
hero
has
kills that
fallen.
prevent them from taking objectives, but as long as they don't die to grab a support kill, it's not that bad. It's just ideally you'd want to be going for the cause, like the Razor, the Alchemist, the Darkseer. It's just so hard for them to kill those heroes in time before backup comes in. Like, Danish bears have been so on point with these quick TPs.
We have Syndren once again heading up top,
Oh,
hexing an
Quaver! He
illusion.
runs into Noya!
Oh no, he tries going there, but they are waiting for him. They pull him into a wall. He tries to escape that. His Aghanim Scepter not going to do him any sort of good. They do commit the wall though. And, well, the Razor, though, is unstoppable. So it's 11 and 12. The teamfight recap, nothing much to report right now. But it's a 10,000 gold deficit.
And look at the Tinker,
Danish
this-
bears are on the path. I wouldn't say it's done, but they're on the path on knocking No Diggity out.
Radiant's
Killing
middle
Quaver
tower
is
is under
huge because
attack.
he is
High
essentially
ground defense.
all of their high ground defense and counter push. Without him, there's nothing No Diggity can do to defend it unless they start throwing bodies at Danish bears, which
Radiant's
is not
middle
what you want to
tower
be
has
doing.
fallen.
And if they take Raxus this early on, that's a huge advantage.
Yeah,
Radiant's
and
middle
Tinker's
tower
got 12
is under
seconds
attack.
more. The tower could be gone by
Dyer's
then.
top tower is under attack.
I don't see what could be used to burst down Ping, because
Radiant's middle
if you look at
tower
Juggernaut,
has
he has a
fallen.
Battle Fury and Mountain Style. That
Dire's
is
top
not
tower is under
a
attack.
real fighting build, so to speak. And it's gonna be tough.
Game is really.
They don't. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. They don't have the amplified damage this time. They don't have that extra DPS available for them.
They don't have the extra DPS, but they've got 2 cores that are capable of actually scaling.
Oh,
and
are they
being
coming
able to
in?
do that damage.
They're
Oh
looking,
dear.
they're looking for Quakefa. Oh, it was on point as well, but the rock's a little bit slow.
I feel like last game, it's just their draft was sound. They just needed to make sure they didn't fall behind so much. It's just this game. I don't think No Diggity are in that bad of a spot. They just need to find that one big high ground defense to really bring it back into the fold.
So what's
I think
their
they're
dream?
okay.
Like, they don't have a vacuum, they don't have an RP. What's their dream, you think?
They're probably looking to Era to act as the initiator. He's got a Blink Dagger. But then again, like as you said, there's no true initiator on the side of No
Dire's
Diggity.
bottom
Ideally,
tower
you'd be
is
wanting
under
something like a
attack.
Ravage, a Crush, any sort of
Radiant's
AoE
top
startup
tower
to
is
start
under
the fights up. Like that's not the case. Maybe they consider just using Quaker to whittle them down with the rockets. And then
Whoa,
once
Scotty, Ace, but look at that. Look at that.
Radiant's
What are
top
you
tower
doing?
is under attack.
What is the point?
Radiant structures are fortified.
Wow, he nearly has full movement
Dire's
speed
bottom
with just a
tower
Sanjin
has
Yasha and
fallen.
Travels.
Well, he is
Radiant's
fast. He gets
top
bonus.
tower is
He gets
under
bonus
attack.
speed from unstable
Radiant's top
current
tower
as
has
well.
Yeah. He has full movement speed with just a Sanjin Yasha and boosted travel. He's 1 ms slower than
One.
full movement speed. He's like perma hasted now.
Oh, there's just not enough control on No Diggity. Look at Rise. Like, Rise and Noya, they're sitting in the tree line playing tree tag at this point, just
Dire's
hoping
middle
someone
tower
comes out
is
to that
under
top
attack.
lane. But everyone on No Diggity, they're all down towards the south. Mech is completed on the Wisp, but I'm
Radiant's
not really
top
I'm not
tower is
really
under
sure if this is
attack.
going to be enough to mitigate all of this incoming burst from Danish Bears right now. It will help, but
I like this play here for Danish Bears. They're hiding in the trees. They
Dire's
have that
middle
anti-tinker
tower is
ward
under attack.
to scut out any kind of tree
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
shenanigans that he might be
kill
trying to
this
pull
elk.
off.
3.1k HP. How do you kill this elk? There's not enough damage on the side of No Diggity to kill the elk and then go into the rest of Danish Bears. Like once they
And if you don't
Well,
kill him, he's coming back with health.
exactly.
It's troublesome, and they have a Razor to deal with, and this Razor is sitting with a Scotty, Sanjin
Radiant's top
Yasha,
tower
Hood,
is under attack.
and boosted travel. It's a rough game now for No Diggity. They might have.
They may have blown it. Oh no,
I mean,
Quaker.
yeah, they might have blown it. Oh, Quakefa jumps right in, and they're ready for him. Cowlin say surprise. They do go for the grip, although I think it's highly unnecessary. But they will come in with Era. Era has something to say about this, but Rise, he just puts himself to sleep. He will not survive this, but Ace is on a wicked sink, takes out the Wisp. Era in a lot of trouble. The Scotty strike here from Razor will destroy that Juggernaut. And now this Razor 8-1-7. I'm already having TI4 flashbacks where Razor was popular. This is a true sight to behold here. And Carry Razor doing well here. And Ping, Juggernaut and
Radiant
Tinker
structures
buy back.
are
They're
fortified.
enough though.
Radiant's
Laser
top tower is
refracted.
under attack.
They've got their ultimates available. Omni Slash is still up. And Danish Bears, they don't have that many spells available. Oh.
Sure Impel onto Ace. But I don't think they care. The laser is going to dispel up.
Radiant's middle
Could
barracks
be dispelled
is
out by
fallen.
that Manta. And they're still going.
What can they do? They're so tanky that
Yeah, Heart of
if
Thrust.
Diggity tries to
What are you
commit,
gonna do?
Has fallen.
they can kill probably one hero and that's it. Like they'll run out of damage by the time they're done.
This is the timing window that the elk was searching for.
Timing window. It's like just freaking fat window. He just kept binging on food all game till he got so big.
I mean, if you look at even Razor, he's 18,000, whereas his next run-up is Juggernaut at 15k. So, already imbalanced in terms of the team matchup. But now,
Well, you can say a lot of the net worth on the side of Era is also just in farming items. Like for Razor, these aren't farming items. These are items that is technically part of his main slots.
yep, but
So,
Juggernaut
he
is
can
the
take
one in pressure, under pressure to to win the game.
Not just him, like even Koifa. It's a lot of pressure onto both Era and Koifa to really perform. It's just because of how tanky Danish bears are, they just can't run at them and try and fight them 5-on-5. Like ideally, you'd want to be going for these small pickoffs, but the Danish bears just don't give them those opportunities. So at this point, like no Diggity may just have to commit to the split push style, which they are capable of doing. But for how long can they split push for?
I don't know. It's a very, very hard question to answer.
Well,
because...
Koifa, don't die in that bottom lane. That's the last hero that no Diggity wants to lose. If they lose Era, it's not that bad. If they lose Koifa, that's all their high ground defense gone.
We'll see. He does go for the cancellation. He's going down middle. And they're all running away, Syndrin.
They found him!
The Razor scoots wrong pass, but Yap saw the Wisp. The singular Wisp. He will scoot himself to the creep wave. But there's a purge. I mean, not a purge. There is a stun here. But it will not be used. But meanwhile, they pick up Tinker on the bottom lane. That pull in will actually get that Tinker. But as a result, they do lose the Earth Spirit and the Bane Elemental. But Ace is here with his fellow carry, Keizu. Do they have any kind of... Oh, they don't have any kind of detection, but Ace just runs there so fast. He dodges Syndrin's impale, and he goes right into the base. I'm not sure this is the best course of action, but he takes no damage from it. He Omni Slash. And now we're going in. We're chopping away at this tier 1 tower. And this Rax going down as well. That's the second set they're about to lose here. DB about to send no Diggity out of the Summit qualifier. This is looking really, really over. It's bad to call it so early, but really there's nothing they can do. GG, well played, Keizu.
Oh my gosh.
I felt like they just did very little this entire game. They just sat again and let the elf farm. It might not be their fault because of how the draft function. Wisp needs to set back till level 6. They tri-lane the Wisp, so it was kind of clunky for them. They gave DB the time to stabilize that early game weakness. And
they did better than last game, to say the least. Like during the laning phase, they weren't completely destroyed. It looked like they were hoping to also out-greed Danish bears, but you are not out-greeding an Alchemist that was not contested. This was just 2 perfect games of Pimvinchek. No one looked at him. They were all busy trying to run down Ace, trying to run down Joe. Like everyone else on the side of Danish Bears, they executed the draft to a perfect T. Like comparing the Danish Bears in this best of 3 series to the one that they played previously, which was the Game On series, they look like 2 completely different teams.
I heard
don't
they
know
threw.
what they did. Sorry?
I heard they threw, so might be that. They threw the game.
Oh, they threw. I don't want to say a team threw though. It's
No, from I don't know. I just read somewhere that the people that watched that match, they said it was a, I wouldn't say they threw, but it was a comeback kind of game. So it may not be a lack of performance, but rather a mistake. Kind of thing. So maybe they had the skills, but they just tripped up.
I never watched the game, so
it could be possible. Danish Bears played very decent. I mean, you told me 2-0. Well, you were half right. You were half right. You were half right. And the Caster Test is on in full force. That's for sure here. Maybe no Diggity are preoccupied with something. That's the thing with online tournaments. You never really can fully gauge a team's success, or rather quality. Is that the word? You can't really measure a team by its online success, so to speak, because once in a while you have some bad games. You're just playing with a couple of friends over Skype, or even from a team house. Not everyone's feeling up to it. Maybe someone's just woken up, someone's tired, someone's first game of the day. It can happen.
Someone could also be sick as well. Like, we don't know what's happening in the back lines unless someone tells us. So we can only just make assumptions and say like, oh, player's not performing today, maybe it's just a bad day. Like we can't say for sure.
Yeah, we
so
really can't blame anyone in particular. And the thing is, Danish Bears, we should not take anything away from them. They will advance further in the EU qualifier for this summit. And well, no Diggity get knocked out, so Syndrin and friends will not be seeing them at this round summit, and it's quite a shame. Their team has been rooting for them actually from behind my screen, Because you see him taking on some of the more popular teams, winning games, surviving higher up into the qualifier brackets. It just seems so odd because we see Syndron often at the casting desk, but we always often forget that he was a pro player before. So it's nice to be a little bit of a trip down memory lane. But not this time. Maybe another one because No Diggity do play in a lot of other tournaments. So there's always another chance to catch them. But a big shout out to Danish Bears. Hopefully they do keep this up. There's one problem with the EU teams, of course, being able to maintain their quality of play, similar to some of the teams at sea as well that we're used to seeing.